zero ice fell from the sky. This has all been beautiful snowflakes falling down. And of course, as it compacts on area roadways, you get the slickness, and that's what we have. So here's a look at downtown Portland. You can definitely see there's snow on the interstate highways, on-ramps and off-ramps down there. So slow going. 32 is the temperature. So at least we're not, at 20. I mean, we're at 32. So there's hope that we'll warm up a little bit during the day and see some improving driving conditions. For the time being, the latest, I should say, big batch of snow is this one, which is dropping from I-5 and now pushing off to the southeast. So we do have some drying taking place up in Longview right now, and certainly back over the Coast Range and to the coast itself. Here are the temperatures: 29 Gresham, 30 Scappoose, 31 in Tigard. Everybody's freezing for the most part. Salem's actually a little bit above 34, and there's Kaiser at 32. One headline in the forecast: during the afternoon hours, east winds will start to finally develop out of the gorge today. That'll give you folks in East Multnomah County that added chill to the air. 32 now. I would say the accumulating snow threat at the latest ends at 9 o'clock this morning. And then we have a mainly cloudy day with some flurries in the air. 34 at noon. And 32 at 5 p.m. Brenda, the complete forecast, of course, coming up.
Okay, we'll talk more in a little bit. Thank you, Rod. Right now, we want to talk about driving in weather like this. If you have to go into work this morning or head somewhere else, you'll definitely want to hear what ODOT has to say. Joining me live on the phone this morning is spokesman David House. David, good morning. Thank you so much for getting up early with us.
Good morning. I hope everyone's getting where they need to go safely, or if they can, stay home. You said it.
Right. That's even the best thing to do if they can, but a lot of people can't. So that's where you come in. Are there any particular trouble spots that ODOT is watching this morning? And if there are, where are they?
We don't see any specific trouble spots this morning. Everything is running as well as it can under the circumstances. But I think what you're seeing is everywhere you go, there's at least some moisture on the ground. It potentially could be frozen when you get up to walk to your car, walk to a bus station, or especially when you drive. So take your time, go slow, give yourself plenty of time, and be prepared to take much longer to get to work. We haven't seen as much precipitation, but it's still coming a little bit at a time. But what's already out there, from place to place, conditions can vary. Just driving a few blocks and you might hit slippery spots in an instant. So be prepared for that.
Absolutely. And as we cycle through these ODOT cameras, we definitely see that traffic is lighter than normal. This is a holiday week. So if folks are coming back from Christmas, or if they're actually planning a trip for New Year's, what should they know? I expect that there may be a few more people as the week goes on the roads.
Yeah, this is a big travel day, less work commuting, but that gives you an advantage. If you can avoid the morning travel when it's coldest, or if you can wait this out for another day or two, we'll start to see the rain keep things a little less frozen. That will help. One thing that always helps is to check tripcheck.com. We update that quickly with ODOT information. We have our cameras on there, so you can take a look at where you're going. Still, be aware that conditions can change in an instant. It only takes one spun-out vehicle to slow everything down. It's all clear now, but yeah, take a look there, especially if you're going to be traveling through any mountain passes. You're going to definitely need to bring your chains. It's required by law to at least bring them and be prepared to maybe have to put them on.
All right, David House with ODOT, always great information. We appreciate your insight. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You too. Okay, KGW's Devin Haskins is also out and about this morning, reporting on road conditions for us. He's live in Drive 8. So, Devin, where exactly are you right now?
Right now we're on Highway 14 and
oh, sometimes, live TV, your camera is freezing up there. Shall we see if we can check back? Oh, there we go. Okay, we can see out the front. Go ahead, Devin. I think we've got you back.
Well, we'll turn the camera around so you can see Highway 14 heading east on towards the Commissary. We just passed 192nd. Right now, snow covering the far left lane. You see the drive tracks in the right lane, which is pretty indicative of what it was getting out of Portland. and up here. On I-5 North, it was a little more clear. You had a few lanes that you could travel in, but still snow on the ground. Plenty more cars traveling on here to kind of push away that snow. But as we've gotten out of the Vancouver area, again heading towards Camas on Highway 14, it has definitely been more snow on the ground that we've been having to drive through and kind of slow down. We've seen the temperatures here on the car gauge, kind of hover around that 31, 32 range and whatnot. We're going to kind of drive around this area here in the Vancouver area. I think we're going to maybe head towards 205 South, kind of really circle the whole area this morning and kind of check back in with you guys throughout the morning, just kind of give you guys live looks as you're heading out. If you have to head out, if not, call your boss and tell him, hey, you know what? You know that work from home thing that you been telling me that I can do? I think today might be the day that I need to work from home and kind of curl up on the couch as you're drinking your morning coffee and contemplate like, yeah, it's a work from.
It's an option for sure.
Anyways, it is. We'll give you guys live looks all morning long of what our drive is like.
All right, sounds good. Devin Haskins reporting for us. Thank you very much. Well, as we saw with the first round of snow and ice, it doesn't take much to cause trouble on the road, especially when those temperatures drop overnight. As Kyla Boshi shows us, the #1 tip for drivers is just take it slow.
From above, Washington County's Cooper Mountain looks picturesque. It's a wintry landscape with snow-covered trees and rooftops. But at street level, it's less serene. Frigid temperatures created icy conditions on the hilly roads near Beaverton.
Cars in the ditch, damage everywhere. I'm going to hit an expensive car. It was just a big mess was going to happen, which did. About 7 cars out here now.
There were no injuries, but the cleanup took hours after a series of crashes on Southwest Greyhorn Road. Even vehicles equipped with all-wheel drive couldn't handle the black ice.
Figured there shouldn't be too much snow driving to work in the morning. And then the moment you hit the black ice, it's just game over.
In Tualatin, emergency crews said icy conditions contributed to this crash involving a TriMet bus near Meridian Park Hospital. One patient was transported for minor injuries. We saw similar problems in the Columbia River Gorge. Eastbound I-84 was closed briefly near Multnomah Falls after a semi jackknifed on the highway. Road crews warn it doesn't take much for drivers to lose control. On Southwest TV Highway near 170th, this truck hit a patch of ice and went into the ditch. Luckily, everyone's okay.
Stay home if you can, because there's no reason to be out in this and getting hurt or causing other people to get hurt. It's taking your life in your hands. It doesn't look bad, but it's icy as heck.
Most of the winter driving problems weren't on the major roadways. Instead, a lot of crashes we saw occurred on side streets and hilly roads in the outlying areas. But that could change. With another night or two of freezing temperatures, all roads could get icy.
That was Kyla Boshi reporting for us. The snow and ice come at one of the busiest travel times of the year. Union Station in Portland was busy last night as many people waited to board Amtrak trains, delayed by the weather. PDX also having more issues this morning. That is a live look at the board there. You can see there are a few cancellations and delays, so if you're heading out, be sure to check your flight ahead of time. And check this out. This was the line of people trying to get a cab at the airport Sunday night. Wow. Some of those folks told us they waited for hours. There weren't enough drivers to go around either for taxis or Uber and Lyft. A radio cab spokesman says you won't be able to get a ride quickly no matter where you need to go.
Right now, between the weather and the high demand of the Christmas rush just coming to an end, expect hours-long waits. And if you go to the grocery store, you're going to wait for a couple hours to get there, but you're going to wait for a couple hours to get home. So really think about the necessity of your travel needs before you make the call, because it will be frustrating.
That was Darren Campbell. He says this isn't just a winter weather problem. He says there just aren't as many drivers to hire these days. Okay, turning now to the pandemic. An OHSU analyst who forecasts our COVID surges predicts Omicron is going to be bad, but not quite as bad as he earlier thought. Alma McCarty talked with him late yesterday to find out what changed.
The Omicron surge is on its way, according to Dr. Peter Graven, head of data forecasting for OHSU.
This is kind of the last bit of warning that we get.
His latest projections show COVID hospitalizations in Oregon would peak in mid-February at 1,250 patients. That's if Oregonians take steps to protect themselves, but a projected 1,700 if not.
Honestly, I think if anything, the peak is going to happen even sooner. So we're going to be seeing things more in January than February. We'll have some revisions this week, but the speed of it is really fast everywhere.
Graven's previous projections about the Omicron surge showed hospitalizations peaking around 2,000 or 3,000, but he lowered that number because more people are getting booster shots, and there's new data from Europe, which revealed lower hospitalization rates for this variant compared with Delta. Graven expects overall more people, vaccinated and unvaccinated, will become infected this time around.
I would say you're not as protected as you used to be. And so that's probably a bigger change for the vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, of course, the story is still the same, as you should do all those things. But I think for a lot of people, the new information is that this is definitely spreading amongst vaccinated people. While the vaccine is helping and the booster is helping to prevent the hospitalization and the severe disease, it's still spreading.
Washington state health leaders also predicting many more cases with this wave. Daily infections in the tens of thousands in February due to the Omicron variant. While early indications show it may not cause as severe disease in vaccinated people, Graven says there's no information to show the virus is less severe in the unvaccinated population.
I know most people are thinking, hey, we can't survive this anymore. We're gonna get exposed to it, and we just got to take our chances. And to a large extent, that's true. We just can't all do it at once. And so the behavior modification, this isn't to do it forever. This is to do it to get through the next 2 months. You're probably going to get exposed to this. You'll probably build some immunity, but we can't take the chances right now of everybody doing it at the same time.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Some good perspective there. Okay, let's get a weather perspective. Rod is back in the Weather Center with another look at that forecast.
Nice to have you here back, by the way. I know
thank you.
Enjoyed your Christmas
Absolutely.
long weekend there. All right, hey, I want to point out something, and this is good news, okay? This is good news if you're going to be traveling across the region today. Now, all the white areas are basically winter weather advisories for some accumulating snow today, but notice there are no storm warnings, and in fact, no snow rates in the mountains heavy enough for even snow advisories. So this is simply from Vancouver down to Eugene and then Roseburg, snow advisory out in the Columbia Basin. But my point is, if you're going up into the mountains, it's not any different or any worse, the snow not any heavier than what we've seen down low. So that's some good news, I think, right? All right, here's a look at that Rose City camera shot. I love this shot because it clearly shows we've got snow on the main interstate highways in town, I-5, on-ramps, off-ramps. 32 is the temperature outside. Again, the batch of snow that most recently has come through is now dropping away from us. Salem, you're about ready to see your snow just taper into some flurries, and downtown Portland's pretty much out of it for the time being, but Futurecast does like another shot of snow eventually coming in. I think 9 o'clock is a good guideline that will be the finale of any possible accumulating snow today. So in other words, once we get past 9 o'clock, anything would just be some flurries that wouldn't be enough to stack up. We'll keep mostly cloudy skies, and one thing this doesn't show is that east winds are going to be coming out of the gorge during the day today. Haven't seen that during this entire episode. So that's going to be adding a chill. It's 11 in Baker City, 27 Burns, 32 downtown Portland, 34 degrees in Salem. And here comes your forecast. Tonight we go completely dry, 25 to 34 tomorrow. Next round of snow is Thursday. We'll focus on Thursday when I see you coming up in about 8 minutes or so. Thursday could be really interesting.
Uh-oh.
Do I have your attention?
Uh-oh, you sure do. You've had it since this started. Thank you, Rod. Still ahead here on Sunrise, rain, shine, in this case, snow. This guy never takes a day off. The motivation that got him out for a 7-mile hike in this winter weather.